Hello everybody, I thought I should create a video explaining the new features in 3.0 and going over, some things so everybody understands how the server functions. It's a little easier. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the fact there is no recruits. So if we would click F4 and go to divisions, you would notice there is no recruit job, and that this is a design feature. The reason why there's no recruits is because I want to make it as fluent as possible. I want to make the server feel like you can just join in and play as you want. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this is because I think the server doesn't need recruits, okay? I think majority of people know what they're already doing, and I know that admins or the person being trained does not want to be part of the training process. It's tedious, it's repetitive, people don't want to do it. Especially old players coming back, they don't need to be trained, okay? Now, of course, the odd people who do need to be trained or troublemakers, they can be dealt with. But admins will obviously spend less time dealing with the recruits with this system. So when you join a job, okay, you can just join it as you want, only of the 4 base divisions, you start as the rank recruit. So there is still recruit in the game. Now, as recruit, okay, you get all the same things, but you can't be promoted, obviously, and you can't be, given to a different whitelist or whatever. But the point is, let's get out of the way. 1 second. There we go. On the top right corner, this is because I'm using a 4K monitor. On the top right corner, you notice that it has 690 out of 1800. Essentially, that is something that I'm going to implement now only for the recruits. So when you join a job, you start as recruit, and then you need to wait 30 minutes. Then you get promoted to the rank of private, and that's when you can start getting promoted and do some stuff. So it's basically like an initiation process. And during the time you are a recruit, people can help you. People can say, okay, I can help you, you're a recruit. They can help themselves, and essentially when you see somebody as a recruit, it's like somebody on their baby wheels. You just have to say, oh, this is how you do things, whatever, I'm hoping that the player base can see somebody who's recruit, and say, okay, not now, because I think majority of recruits who join the server today will probably be, past IG players who probably know what they're doing. But maybe there are some who need to know what they're doing, and this is exactly why that I trust in the player base to keep this going. Now, anyways, that's the first feature. The second feature is all about the division layouts. So you saw me earlier with the specialist. So you still have your medic, okay, let's turn average medic, but you also have your specialist. So the specialists are ranked into 2 sections, okay? You have your tank destroyers and you have your flamers. So here I am as my tank destroyer again. The tank destroyers are equipped with a bazooka and some other stuff, and the artillery. I'll get to the artillery a bit later. So, as a tank destroyer, I can use a bazooka. And I can hit vehicles and attempt to destroy them. So, the bazooka is using TFA base, while the other guns use CW base. This flamer as well, because there was a new pack that got kind of released, and it's a really good pack. Honestly, weapons and stuff like that work really well. So we're using all that, and the grenades as well. So that's the bazooka. Then the next gun is, or the next sweep, I should say, is the artillery sweep. So this is Gretchen's base, and I've made the decision to give normal users access to use artillery anytime they want. What a mad lad, I know. But I'll show you now. I'll call in a position on, let's do it on like a Jeep or something. Here, on a car. I'll show to you why it isn't overpowered.
Station! We're gonna need air to strafe this area! Can you let them know?
It calls in like normal, but as you know, you can't hear. You can only hear the sound effects of the gunfire, and you can see the plane going ahead. You do not hear the aircraft. So it isn't going to be annoyance on the other side of the map. You won't hear this aircraft, it won't be really annoying. And it's the same for the other side. And for the other side, the flamer, let's get one. Oh, I don't have one. Alright, let's whack this. Let's become a 15th, 18th flamer. There we go. Where is he? 18th Fischer's flamer. There we go.
Leitstelle! Führer! Schickt eine Stuka! Geb's ihnen!
Did I just call in a... Okay, well, I think I just called a Stuka strike by accident. That may or may not happen. So essentially, the Axis have a Stuka strike instead of the Allied gun run, which, as you can see, takes a lot more time to load in, so you probably won't hit your target. Of course, it's a Stuka strike! It's gonna be pretty big, and you're probably gonna hit the target anyway. So, Stuka strike is probably better, and of course, other than the X-Bazooka, the Flamer Specialist has the Flamer. So the Flamer isn't as overpowered as you might expect it to be. It doesn't really kill that many NPCs and stuff. It doesn't... It will kill the player, and it will leave you scarred, but really, it isn't that overpowered, okay? And anybody who uses it can probably tell you that it isn't. So yeah, let me prove it to you by spawning in some citizens. They're completely disproving my argument for some reason. Look. It takes time to kill them, but the player does go on fire, and they also will start bleeding as an artifact as well. So if you were to basically flame them for 5 seconds, they're dead, unless there's a medic nearby, essentially. So, but the problem is that this is really bad outside. You can easily get shot outside, you know. That's why you still have your main weapon. But inside buildings, which is the flame was what's meant to use, is that you go in here and you're meant to like destroy and take over objectives with the flame, which is essentially what you're trying to do, you know. So on Filet, it's probably best in the trenches down here. Not for like these combats around here, but like when you're actually maybe not even in the trenches, but maybe like trench hopping. Don't trench hop, but yeah. It is pretty devastating when you trench hop with a thing. Hold on, how do I trench hop again? Let's just show everybody how to trench hop. It's like over here, isn't it? You have to like crouch jump over here, isn't it? Over here it is. See, oh, it's over here, over here. You jump over to those boxes, jump over that way. I know, I remember it now. There we go. Trench hopping, man. Honestly, there we go. That's how you trench hop. So trench hopping, don't ever do it because you could just kill it. It is an extremely, you know, abusive thing about this old map. But, you know, that's what it is. Hello, I'm a trench hopper. I am so cool. Right, anyways. So, there were some other features like rotating divisions, but the most important part is that vehicles can now be bought for free, and that includes tanks. Constantly free tanks. I think I've made the server much more optimized, and I believe, and I've already trust tested and proven my point, that I'm fine with constant tanks being on the server, you know? So, if I was to use the Puma, I can buy it instantly from the LG store. And no Axis, of course. There is the Panzer IV and the Tiger, both able to be purchased by the Waffen tankers, the 15 PS. So I can spawn that in anytime I want. And we're away! So there we go, that's the server. That's everything I want to show you off. Obviously, if you watched the end of the video, fantastic. But I just wanted to highlight stuff. This is mainly for the staff team, so they understand exactly how the server works. There you go. F3 menu's working. You had that I made. Shows quartermaster points. Donations will be have to given out. I couldn't automate it sadly, but I've got a huge list of all the donations anyways, and new donators will definitely get their VIP. I already tested that out. And another big feature as well, before I end the video, is that we're no longer using ULX, we're using ServerGuard, which is a big change to the server. But it does also mean that there are some errors like this, like it doesn't show the you know, in the change maps, it doesn't show the RNL map, so you have to manually change map to the map, and it's weird French names, so you have to like copy and paste it and stuff. So that's a bit tedious, and there are some other things problem with ServerGuard, but overall ServerGuard I think will be beneficial of the server, you know, and I'll see how it runs. You know, so far I'm quite happy with it, but we'll see. All right, everybody, that's the video. Thank you.